So we're here. Have we talked at all as a crew about like what needs to happen to deliver this? Like, is Fortune worried about security here, or
No, I mean, I haven't been told anything. I wasn't allowed to open the box, and I've been given who to deliver it to. So,
okay?
other than that, I think we're fine. I'm not worried about someone coming to try to steal it or anything.
Well,
If you say that out loud, Gogo says you should be worried.
yeah, I think Oscar, from the little that he knows, and simply knowing that it was contraband enough, potentially, that we wouldn't want it to be found under the ship inspection, he would insist that he goes with.
Okay. Well,
He also
I don't think I'm
want to be.
delivering.
Oh.
I was gonna go to the people and have them come get it off the ship because it is bolted to the deck. So I'm not trying to unbolt it.
How heavy is it?
I mean, probably not that heavy. It's like a regular chest.
Yeah, it's like a Foot Locker size thing.
But I will go get the person I'm to deliver it to. Hey, look, I was told not to touch it. I didn't touch it. You come get it off my ship. Kind of thing.
Are we sure we want them on our ship?
I mean, I would rather defend my ship than try to escort this thing to someplace I don't know.
That's true.
So, I would like to go find the people or message the people we are to deliver this to.
Yeah, so the address you're supposed to deliver to is it appears to be like a kind of mom and pop accessories and antique store.
Yeah, just random whatever, all encompassing store.
Yeah. Again, it's like that weird mom and pop antique plus also high end pod racing parts.
Yeah. I think Oscar is actually quite interested in seeing what they have there.
Yeah, I would like to go look through their antiques, being that I like the projectile weapons and such.
Does anyone else intend to come along? Who all is going on this trip?
Not I.
You're not going on planet?
Oh no, I'm going on planet. I'm just not going with you.
Oh, okay. So no one.
She's got plans.
Fisher? I'm trying to determine if...
Fisher, do you remember what happens every time you go with Oscar somewhere?
Yeah. Oscar, I mean, Fisher, don't you want to come along? It'll be great.
I actually feel like Gogo would mention to Fisher, she'd be like, so, do you like pod racing by any chance?
Well, I did make quite a bit of money from the betting we did on the rat races we used to do at the labs.
Gogo does the squinty eye, like...
Oh, close enough. All right, you can come.
Yeah. Close enough. Grab him by the shoulder. Let's go.
This is not out of line at all with what actually happens. And I'm gonna raise you one. Actually, we've actually we haven't done it, but we've debated whose neurons would extend the fastest if we took some fibroblasts and then reprogrammed them, then had them race. Yeah, it gets way nerdier than racing lab rats.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
I mean, Matt's being humble. He won, but
no, we haven't actually done it.
I know, I'm kidding.
That's
we have
hilarious.
the means to now, though.
It's great to know what my research money is being spent on.
Yep. Government grants. Well, I don't even know if you're on a government grant, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
No, I got us. We well, never mind. I don't.
Okay.
Moving right along.
Yeah. So I think Oha, who's there, she probably looks at the two of you, Fortune and Oscar, and she says, "I think you boys can handle yourself. I am interested in this pod racing, as they call it."
Need anything? See somewhere you found a knife, but
Well,
Perhaps
I'd be like, feel free to the wonderful armory. Take what you need.
She's like, that will be quite unnecessary.
Even some
Gogo's like, yeah, you might want to be carrying. Okay.
Would you like some more protective clothing at least?
No, how would I show off my physique?
I probably give her. She gets the raised eyebrow smell from
right
from Fortune. Like
Oscar
what?
just nods and says, "Suit yourself. If you change your mind, this place may have some interesting. I suppose we'll see."
And I think that probably like when you guys are like, okay, yeah, this is what we're gonna go do. We're gonna go talk about this. Gogo's got some stuff to do with Dr. Fisher. Oha's apparently gonna try and tag along with that. And I think that like the group of you is maybe talking this over in like the cargo bay. And I think that like descending the ladder, we see Chan, and he's carrying something like in a blanket, like under one arm, so he's kind of awkwardly like, doing the thing where he loops his arm in and steps down on the ladder and then, drops down with one hand and then loops his arm in and steps down and doing the awkward thing like climbing down the ladder with one arm. And he's got like a backpack on and like a big floppy hat that he's found somewhere. And he comes over and he kind of like looks at the group and he's like, "Oh, I thought you had all left. I was going, I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt."
No, Chan, what you doing?
What's in your arm? What's under the blanket?
So he pulls back the blanket, and you see Stanley.
I figured.
Who Oscar, it's been a while since you've seen Stanley.
I keep tabs on him. Maybe not explicitly, but
it's probably been a while since it's been mentioned in chat or in game that he's seen him.
Sure, yeah. But he kind of has this like kind of grayish armored shell now. Not dissimilar to like kind of like an armadillo shell almost. And Chan like pulls it back and shows him, and then he covers him back up and he goes, "I believe Stanley is ill or some other. I was going to see possibly if they had a store for household pets here. He is unique, but I am not unusual to the care of household pets. It was something of a prideful thing for me, as much as that is."
Chen, would you like me to come with you?
Well, no, I usually do these things on my own when all of you have left already. I'm used to it.
I have faith in your abilities. Let me know if you need anything.
That would be by utilizing the compad, correct? Because
yes.
I believe that we will not be in the same area and I cannot shout.
Don't shout. No.
Well, if it's dire, shout anyways.
Compad is preferable.
Would I know of a place to direct Chan to?
Is there a chain pet store on Thune?
I mean, I don't know. I assume that most of Thune is basically like low rent shopping center anyway, so.
Yeah.
Those occasionally have good.
I wonder. I bet he finds a place called like Worms and Wings.
Yeah.
Or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is probably something, but yeah. I guess I should describe Thune a bit, and Gogo, feel free to add details as you see fit, but I imagine it is fairly, like, packed in, because the bubble cities aren't huge, right? Like, they can't be too big, because then they would, like, collapse under their own weight and all this crazy, it'd be much harder to run. So they're kind of compact, and inside of this compact, there needs to be quite a few people living, and so there's, like, big, tall apartment complexes that kind of go up into the sky a bit, that are very tiny, like, all, like, studio apartments inside of them. So it's very kind of compact and low-rent accommodations. There probably are some, like, higher class areas, but I would say nothing beyond what we would understand to be like upper middle class is probably like the high class society on this planet. Just basically due to space. In addition to that, there's probably quite a few gambling dens, drug dens, gambling dens certainly. Casinos are a big thing here.
And all of those middle to upper class are the people who own those.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they live like above those in a penthouse. Like that's the state of them. And everybody else basically either tries to scrounge what they can, like I said, things to do, scavenging, working in the factories, the manufacturing factories basically don't make anything to export. All they really make is pod racing parts.
And other manufacturing things for the other manufacturing companies.
Right, exactly. Or like service industry, right? Like working in the casinos or the gambling dens or the nightclubs and shit like that. So overall, I think fairly low class is what we're looking at here. But, you know, there's probably some chain stores and there's probably like a couple of like shopping plazas or marketplaces that might have something that Chan desires, certainly.
Chan, why don't you come with us? We'll stop on our way back, I promise. How's that sound?
Yes, of course, Miss Gogo.
He's gonna carry Stanley with him when you go and watch this.
Stanley is quite used to being outside of the ship by now.
Listen, that won't go on. That won't go noticed here. I promise you.
You'd know best.
Okay. So, the group leaves. And, Gogo, the ramp raises and you click the button and it goes boop boop. And locks, of course. It doesn't actually do that, but I thought it was funny. And everybody's given, like, the code, right? Because, like, if you set a code to it, it probably changes every time you disembark, and everybody's given the code to remember to get back on the ship. And the group of you go, you walk probably together down the hallway, and you get out, and then there's a moment probably where there's a break moment where one group goes to wherever Gogo wants to go, and the other group goes to, or I should say Oscar and Fortune, go to the Emporium, Sven's Emporium. And I think that the first one I want to deal with is actually that, Sven's Emporium. So the group of you, the two of you, I should say, navigating this place is fucking difficult. So I actually want one of you to make me a navigation check based on wisdom, but the other one can assist if you want. I'm looking for a difficulty 8 here.
I will navigate.
Okay. So, Oscar, you want to try and assist him?
Can I try and assist him with perception?
No.
And with wisdom, you said?
Yeah, it is with wisdom. Yeah, so, like, that's the thing, right, Oscar? It's not perceiving things, it is...
Yeah.
Your wisdom is the perception portion here. Close. So you don't get the additional +1, but you do get to roll. Hey, you nailed it anyway.
Yeah.
So there's probably a moment where, like, the two of you are, like, huddled over a compad. You've downloaded, like, an app that shows you where all the things are, but the app was probably made by one of the, like, local casinos, and so it, like, only shows casino locations. It doesn't really have information on everything else, right? So, like, you're trying to discern, you're like, okay, we're here, and then that's that, and then that's that, and you're, like, walking around all these things. And as you guys, I think, are walking through the city, there's constantly, like, people who are, like, out on the street, like, trying to get you to come in, because you're obviously tourists. Outside all of the gambling dens and casinos are like, big race coming up today, and they're like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., all the way to midnight. Come on in, place your bets. We give the best odds in town, like that kind of thing. Just constantly, it's kind of a din of commotion. And the streets are very cramped and kind of compact, and so there's probably some times where you're like trying to like push through people to get where you're going. Not unlike if you've ever been to New Orleans, not unlike the very cramped, like, I think that most people would be surprised at how cramped New Orleans actually is. Those streets are fucking tiny.
Yes.
But I can imagine other big cities that I haven't been to are similar.
It's like Chinatown with Russians, basically.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. But I also think that that's basically just Russia. So,
I mean, I've never been to Russia, so I can't comment.
True, I've also never been. But, yeah, it's basically imagine it like very. I think very Chinatown-esque is a good way to put it, but Russian. But eventually, you guys like.
Yeah, Oscar just blows them all. I mean, like, he's not mean about it, but he pays none of these people any mind.
Yeah.
I probably look inside one or two and maybe mention to Oscar, be like, oh, maybe stop in one of these on the way back, just for a few minutes.
I think
what it looks like.
The one thing for you, Fortune, there are so many great drinking dens, just like everywhere here.
Nice.
Just like everywhere you look.
But they all serve vodka.
Yes, they all serve vodka.
I think Oscar has a habit of getting banned from gambling places because he can't resist using telekinesis on like the roulette tables. So he's had the temptation would be too great for him.
So I mean, I think that Fortune, you probably feel a little bit like kind of you fit in here.
Yeah.
Oscar obviously stands out a little bit.
Yeah. It wouldn't take too long for me to feel at home here.
Yeah, I think that is a good way to put it. And eventually, probably like the two of you duck in an alleyway to like catch your breath and be like, okay, we gotta be in the area. And then you like look around and you see that it's like this little tiny like hole in the wall. Like the door is probably like a little bit like at off kilter because it's been like opened and shut too many times and never fixed. And the neon sign is missing like 2 or 3 words.
Yeah.
And I think it probably only says like Emporium, Pod Racing, Artifacts. Like that's the only words that are lit up at this point.
Nice.
But then after reading the rest of them that are not lit up, the neon sign, you realize that's where you need to go. And the door is like open, and it's probably got like an actual analog sign that says open.
Nice.
And as you open the door, it creaks and ding goes off as a little bell goes off, and you walk in, and the place is kind of it smells kind of musky in here, almost like has that like old library smell almost, where you can see the dust kind of settling on stuff, and there are trinkets and baubles, and this is one of those buildings, like, from the outside there's just this tiny door, but it goes up, like, maybe 2 or 3 stories, and it's open all the way up, and there's, like, little, like, pathways that walk along the outside, and it's not very big, it's probably about, maybe 1,000, no, not even that, probably, like, 500 square feet big, but it goes up, like, really, really high. Like maybe like 30 feet or so, 10 meters or so. And there's, like ladders to get up to like all the other levels, and there are just trinkets and baubles and all this other crazy shit just like lining the shelves. It's basically Ariel from The Little Mermaid's Paradise. Or any other version of, it's actually, you know what? It is, it's Ollivander's Wand Shop from the Harry Potter movies, but with like weird knickknacks, and like you can see like there are clearly like engine parts and stuff in one section, and stuff like that.
I was about to say you're referencing Diagon Alley right now, aren't you?
Yeah, basically.
And then you said that, and I'm like, yep. Yeah,
basically. So yeah, that's basically the place that you're in, and you don't see anyone immediately, but you probably hear some like some hacking, like and from like the second level you see I think all you see is like this tuft of white hair, and then like a nose, and then a big old like beard and mustache like poking up over the like the railing, and he says, "I'll be down in 1 minute. I'll be down in 1 minute. Hold on." And he like trundles back, and you can hear like some closing of doors and some like stomping downstairs. And he goes, "Aisha, what do you want?"
I was sent here to deliver a package.
Oh, what kind of package is that?
A package I was not supposed to open.
Well, that doesn't do much good for me, does it? Don't know what I'm receiving. I can't take it. Do you have any documentation of this, perhaps? Perhaps something that I can read, something that I can look at?
You know the sender.
Yes, well, I know a great many people. Boy, girl, thing, whatever you are.
Hello?
Oh, Devin, did you cut out?
Devin?
Yeah, I said it's from Sarah MacGyver.
Oh. He
Like
goes,
right after he said, "Do you have any?" Like you said, "Well, something." Yeah. So.
Oh, yes. Pretty lass, yes. Well, what did she send me this time? I wonder. Her girl likes to send me the strangest things, of course. You know, you understand. You seem like you know her. You must know her.
Yeah, I do.
And you, tall one, what are you?
Only a companion.
Armatron or thing. Hey.
Companions.
It's like,
Lovers? Interesting build. Whatever. I'm not gonna knock your lifestyle preferences. It's not my place. So you have package. Where is it? Show it to me.
It's bolted to the deck of my ship.
Well, that's an inconvenient place for it if you're delivering it, isn't it?
Well, I was told not to touch it. Well, not to open it, so I didn't want to unbolt it.
See, this is what I said.
Yes, well, how large is it? Do you think a man like me can carry it? I am the only one that works here.
Well, I did not know who worked here.
Well, that seems like a lack of information that I am not supposed to give you, but now you know, so good. What are we to do?
Well, we can deliver it. That's not a problem. I just didn't know if you wanted to be the one to get it off the ship or not.
Yes, well, since you made your way all the way down here, I guess I should at least go see what it is, see if I even want it. Doesn't that sound good? But oh, poor me, I'll have to close the shop. Unless you feel like waiting a few hours. Do you feel like waiting a few hours? You and your lover?
Oscar doesn't correct him.
I would feel more comfortable if one of us escorted you back to the ship. One of us can stay here and man the shop. That shouldn't be an issue.
Oh, please let me run the shop. Please let me run the shop for an hour.
Ha! And steal all of my things? I think not. You're here to deliver, not to take. Maybe.
You just mentioned one of us staying to man both of us staying at the shop. What? What's the difference between one of us or both of us staying?
You're trying to trick me with words. I'm much smarter than that. You don't understand.
Oh, okay.
He says, with your permission, we can deliver this to you. With all risks assumed.
No, it's fine. I don't even know if I want it. Come, I'll close up the shop. Forbid my livelihood.
Okay.
And you see him, like, he gets down from behind the desk, and, like, he was standing on a stool, and he's very short. He's probably only about, maybe, like, 3'10" in height, so very short. And he kind of, like, trundles around, and you can see his arms and legs are kind of stunted a little bit. And he grabs like a set of analog keys, and he kind of like...
Does he have like the old guy bent back? Like,
no.
Is he also short because he's
honestly he looks like a fantasy
person?
Dwarf. Honestly, he looks like a fantasy dwarf.
Perfect.
I'm just trying. I want to make sure I have the right mental image.
Your mental image is fantasy dwarf with a big white beard and like kind of wispy, flailing white hair on top.
Cool. Nice.
Old pod
like
racing Gimli.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And I think that you see him grab a set of like analog keys, and he kind of like he rolls up his sleeve. And as he rolls up his sleeve, you can see from his wrist up is covered in tattoos. Like he's got like a full sleeve tattoo on, not on, but on his body. And he kind of like rolls it up and he slides like this set of keys around like a wristband, and you can see him lock it. And then when he looks at you, and then he turns his back to you and he like locks it, and you see him like typing some buttons, like he's holding it real close to his chest. And then he goes, "Don't want you stealing all of my stuff now, do I?" And then you see him like pick up a coat, and he throws the coat on, and it kind of drags on the ground a little bit. It's clearly it was like made for a child or like a young teen, but he's too short. And the ends of it are kind of tattered and muddy from where he's obviously been like walking and stuff. And he kind of pulls it up. It's like a trench coat style, and he like pulls up the collar, and you see him like he takes a little walking stick, and he pulls like a bowler hat down, and he puts it on his head and kind of like settles it there for a little bit, and he goes, "So are you ready? Is it far? What docking bay are you at? Do you race?"
No, we're over here.
Okay, good. Let's go.
Okay.
And you see he kind of like opens the door and like gestures for you to come out with his little walking stick.
Yep, Oscar does so.
Yeah, and he like...
How far are we actually? I did...
Well, so you spent time navigating, but you know your docking bay number, and you know how to get back there now. Like, that's an easy... Cause...
Surely this guy knows a shortcut also.
Ha, I see the short joke there.
There was no short joke, but it was unintentional.
Yes, he certainly would know. That's why he asked what docking bay you're at, like, presumably.
Yeah, like,
I'm following him back
guaranteed
to the
he
ship.
knows the right way to
so
get there quickly.
You give him the number, and I think that he like, as you walk out of the door, he uses his walking stick and he flips the sign to close, and then he like hits the light with his stick, and he closes his door, and like he looks at you, and he's looking at you, and he like locks it, and then you see him like huddle up real close to the door, and beep 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 boop boop beep boop, and then he comes back down, and he kind of like looks and he goes, "Well, hope my livelihood isn't gone when I come back after this fool's errand. Let's go." And he begins like walking down the street, kind of limping on this stick as he walks across like the manufactured steel floor.
Yeah,
and that's out here.
This guy is slowly turning Fortune into Go-Go with the constant eye rolling.
It's contagious.
Yeah, and as he kind of like enters into the street, you lose sight of him very quickly, because all you can see kind of is like this little bowler hat kind of like bouncing in between people, and like Oscar, it's you because you stand a little bit taller, so you're like no, he's this way. Okay, let's go this way.
Oscar follows him dutifully.
Yeah,
he's not losing him.
Yeah, and eventually I think the group of you gets back to the ship, and you're walking through the hallway, and he kind of like looks around and he says, "Now you're not going to try and kill me, are you? You're not here to do that."
You might just have to find out.
It's been tried before. None of them were successful. It's been a while since the last one.
And I just walk ahead of him towards the ship. Like, it's over here. I'm done with it. Stupidness.
We're familiar with people being out to get us. You have nothing to worry about from us.
That's just something an assassin would say, isn't it? Gain my trust and then catch me from behind it. Gotcha.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, I'll be watching my back. You better watch yours, lover man, woman, thing.
If Oscar didn't have his field uniform on, he would wink at him. But
we get to the ship, I assume.
Yeah, and then you descend the boarding ramp and.
Well, I huddle up really close to the ship, look over my shoulder at the guy. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
I'm just making noises with my mouth. Obviously, it's just a clicker, but...
Right, exactly. Yeah, and the ship just boop, boop, and the ramp begins to descend.
Yeah.
And I think he nods in approval at you. He's like, yes, this is good. He's like, he probably says like, my kind of people.
I walk up and I go, here's your box.
Yeah, and you see he walks up to it and he kind of like he goes to take his coat off and he looks around and he's like, what, no coat rack? Ah, savages. And then he like shrugs it back on and he walks to the box and he kind of like walks around it with his staff and he's like looking at it and then he hits it a few times with his staff and then like he goes up and he like lays down on top of it.
Oscar takes a step back as soon as he starts banging on the thing. We don't know what the hell is in there.
Yeah, and he lays his head on it with his ear pressed to it and then like knocks. And then he listens. He sits there for a long minute and he goes, interesting, yes. Can't discern what it is. She's used a bigger box this time. More padding, it seems. Doesn't rattle, doesn't move. Bolted to the ground, interesting. Maybe volatile. Very well, I'll take it.
Alright. I find the thing in the bay that unbolts it from the deck.
Yeah, the wrench.
Yeah.
He just... and it comes up, and I think that you see him like grab a handle and he tests the weight a little bit and he nods and he like lifts it up and like kind of like puts it on his back and like now he's kind of hunched over and he's like, well.
Oscar, when he does that, Oscar speaks up and he says, I actually intended to look about your shop. I'll take that for you.
Well then, why didn't you just do that when you were there? Why do we have to be so insistent of coming in this box? If you would have come in the box in the first place, we could have not wasted so much time.
You're not wrong.
This is very inefficient indeed. Fine. Take the box. It'll be easier for me to walk anyway.
Yes.
And then, like, as you walk over to grab it, he whips the walking stick down on top of it and looks at you with, like, one eye closed and one eye open. He goes, don't open it. And then continues to walk.
He says nothing. He follows him. Yep.
Okay. And eventually you get back to the shop, and you begin to peruse his wares. Are you looking for anything in particular here, Oscar? Like, this is the kind of place where most of it is probably junk. But there is the small chance you find something incredible.
Oscar wants a telekinetic generator.
Still.
He has wanted one since like session 2.
4. Yeah.
Yep.
So, roll me a perception check. But I think doing so with intelligence. As if you were investigating this place as opposed to trying to perceive it. Nice.
Hey.
So you're perceiving through the shop, and the old man is keeping a good, hefty eye on you, but also kind of like enthralled with his box.
As he should.
And do you like teleport up to the other floors and stuff?
I don't think he wants to set this guy off, so he's walking around. He's,
yeah, like completely
not upsetting any of the merchandise.
Yeah. And I think that there's probably a moment where, like, you pick something up and you're just, like, looking at it like, this is, like, a weird thing. And as you go to set it back down, we see the God rays come out from the back of the...
It's like the Pulp Fiction briefcase.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you hear from down below, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit that button. And he, like, turns it off and the light shuts off and the music stops.
No, hit that. What was that?
Yeah, and then, like, you look again, and you can see that back kind of nestled behind this bookcase it's like, fallen down off of a shelf and, like, broken another shelf because it's a generator. It's not, like, a fucking handheld thing, right? Actually, how much encumbrance is it? It's, like, 5 encumbrance?
I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's, like...
I just want to get a scale for how big the thing might be, so I don't describe it incorrectly and either nerf or improve it in some way. Let's see. Telekinetic generator. It is 2 encumbrance, so it's actually not that bad. So it's probably...
My understanding is it's like a small... It's like a janky little exercise bike that you can...
Yeah. I would say...
It's a thing. It's a mechanical thing that someone could operate physically if they hated themselves or were desperate.
Yeah, so
But,
I think it is. So here's what it is. It is probably like a perfect cube, that has like the equivalent of a Jack-in-the-Box crank on the side of it, and then it has
something like that.
Yeah, and then it has like all of these ports that come out of it, and you can see like just the dust is covering it. It looks like it's been hiding back there forever. It has all of these ports that come out that are all different like power adapters, right? And then you can see like next to it is like a bundle of cables for connecting it to different things via these power ports and stuff. And it's fairly big. It's probably, I don't know, probably about the size of, you know, those, I'm looking around my room to see if I have anything equivalent. You know, like...
Looking to find your own telekinetic generator for reference.
I have some things. I'm going to let everyone know in the world that I actually have this sitting in my room right now. It's going to be embarrassing. You know the size of those super large popcorn tins that have, like, the flavored popcorn, like the cheddar and caramel and butter?
There is nothing embarrassing about that. Those are delicious.
Well, the embarrassing part is I actually don't know how long it's been there, and I don't know. Hopefully
probably
they're in
Christmas.
bags. Christmas, hopefully, yeah. Maybe Christmas 2 years ago, though. Could be, but it's probably about the size of that.
If it was a gift, it's especially forgivable to have that.
It totally was. I didn't buy that shit for myself. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well,
I buy one for myself every year for Christmas. So
well, that's like a gift to yourself, right?
Absolutely.
So it's about the size of one of those, Oscar, and like you bend down to like pick it up, and it's heavy. Like that's where the encumbrance is coming from, is how heavy it is.
Right, because it's just like a giant resistor,
right?
Or like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, a giant coil to produce.
Yeah,
energy
exactly.
From
exactly. And so you get it out of there and you lift it up and you brush it off. And I think that you see on it, like almost worn completely away. And in passing, no one would really notice, but you notice because you're acutely aware of these things, especially in this exact moment, that it has a Terran symbol on it.
Damn.
This is, yeah, he like takes a second and he just like looks around, like he does this squirrely look. So he's probably like, you know, hunched down, like squatting down, looking at this thing. And he looks around to see if anyone's watching him, and he just like clutches it to his chest for a second, and he stands up and he like dusts it off, and then no, he doesn't dust it off. He leaves it exactly as is, and he walks downstairs with it to go talk to the store owner.
Yeah, and you can see that the store owner is like, he's kind of like fiddling with the latch of his box. He's got like an old like analog set of lockpicks out, and he's like listening very closely and moving along, trying to catch the pins at the right place.
On the box that we just gave him?
Yeah.
He's trying to pick... I suppose we weren't given a key, so... yeah, he goes up to him and he says, I've been looking for something along these lines. Looks like a generator of some sort. Might be handy to toss in my survival kit. What do you think you would be looking for such a thing?
Yeah, I think he kind of like looks at it and looks it over. And he's like, huh, I thought I solved that thing years ago. Well, good to know. Double my money. Let's see here. quite partial to this particular item, if I do say so myself. Let's say around the range of, I don't know, 800 credits.
Yeah, he does a little, makes a show of, like, considering it. He says, it seems a little steep for something you forgot you even had. But, that's fine. Yeah, sure. 800 it is.
Yeah. I think you, like, hand the credit chip over and he kind of snatches it and, like, pulls the money off of it and hands it back. And he's like, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Now thank you for my toy. And he goes back to, like, clicking the things.
Oscar, like, puts it carefully in his backpack. And he says, you close to getting that open?
Nope, not even close. I'll probably be dead before it's done.
This guy's awesome. And not awesome.
Do you like a hand?
No, that would ruin my fun.
So to speak.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Weird lover of humans, I don't want your help.
He waves to him and departs the store.
Fortune, did you go along with this, or did you, like, not?
No, I stayed on the ship and I wanted to send a message back
To Sarah? I think you got out again.
Devin.
Well, Devin cut out. I'm going to assume he's sending a message to Sarah.
I think we know what he did.
Oh.
Voice connected?
Hello.
Hello. Why is it waiting till now to do stupid stuff?
I don't know. Discord is dumb sometimes. I assume you sent a message to Sarah.
Yeah, I wanted to send a message to Sarah, but it probably started off the message as like, hey, cutie, and then you see me backspace a bunch of times, sweetie, backspace a bunch of times, Sarah. The package is backspace, Sven, backspace. I delivered the package to Sven. He's an interesting guy. You're welcome. Love, backspace, from backspace. Kind regards, Fortune. Send.
Backspace, warmly, backspace,
Yeah.
cheers, backspace.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fortune, backspace, Arthur, backspace, Art, backspace, Fortune.
Yeah. Precisely.
Awesome.
And then I send it off.
Excellent. Cool.
And probably like PS. Feel free to contact me.
Yeah, so maybe you're like...
Backspace. Please backspace. Feel free to contact me.
Yeah, right, yeah, yes. I think that you're like, maybe you're sitting in a room with like your feet up, like watching this, and you would probably want to have like the exterior cameras up if you're the only one on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Just to be sure, right? You're pretty minded like that. I think you see Oscar coming up, and you see him walk into the hangar bay, and he's like clutching something in his chest, and he like looks, does the shifty eye side to side, and then like kind of power walks over to the ramp.
I would like to go meet him in the bay.
Yeah, and then it probably like bends down and like ups the ramp, and the ramp's coming up, and he's like looking out, making sure nobody's watching him. But I think that we'll get that interaction possibly next week after we deal with Fortune, Gogo, Oha, and Chan.
Not Fortune.
Sorry. Fisher, Gogo, Oha, and Chan.
And Stanley.
And Stanley.
It's like the Partridge Family, except way worse.
Nowhere near as nice.
So, where is your first stop, Gogo?
I mean, I think it's pretty clear. She needs to go to her favorite old land racetrack.
Okay. Yeah. So, I think you head on over there, and is this something that is... Are you actually going to go to the track, which would probably be outside of this place?
No. There's a specific bar/club associated with the track.
Sure, yeah. And this is probably someplace that is, like, a bit older and more run down. Was this like your first racetrack, or was this just like your stomping grounds?
Well, it was definitely a old stomping ground of mine. But since then, she has heard that it's been bought and
Perfect.
nicened up a bit. So she's interested to see what it looks like.
So what's
it's been given a different name too, apparently.
What was your relationship with the patronage and old owners here?
Just old friends, family friends, as it were. But apparently something happened to them or something, and she doesn't really know the story. She hasn't been on planet in a while.
Okay. So I think that like throughout the journey, there's this like awkward train of people following you, obviously. And Oha probably is like talking to Chan a lot and like looking at Stanley and like doing that thing like if somebody were looking at a baby and like tickling the chin or like, you know, oh, it's so cute, right? Like that kind of thing. But also like trying to hold conversation with Dr. Fisher. Dr. Fisher, are you just along for the ride here?
Pretty much at this junction.
Okay. So you're just like walking along for the ride. What was the name of this place, Gogo?
I think it was the Rusty Coin, but now she's heard that it's been renamed the Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called the Bloody Valentine. So I think that you arrive outside, and it's almost like you don't recognize it, obviously, because when you were here, it was kind of old, run down, but had that kind of like atmosphere of being home. And now there's light spilling out into the street, and there's like a neon sign outside, and it looks probably a bit gaudy. And I think that the sign is probably it looks like what we all would understand as like a California prospector. Maybe you don't understand that, Will, but whatever.
The prospector from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yes,
there you go.
Exactly.
And I got an
uh,
American reference.
Yay.
Internet high five.
And like, you like with a shovel, and then when the neon sign flashes, he's like digging. And then out of the hole that he's digging, there's like artifacts and stuff that are falling out. Like there's like a whole pod racer that falls out like at the end. And it kind of like we see it like the sign like zooms it around. And then it says the Bloody Valentine on the sign there. And it's like a weird like not good mismatch of genres there. And I think that you hear music playing out of it, but it's very clearly like not live. It is very clearly like on a music playing device, a jukebox if we were, but TL4 jukebox, so like really advanced iPod. What do you do when you arrive there and see that?
Figure's just like standing out front, staring at the sign, squinting at it. She's like, oh, what the fuck? Except in Russian. And so she's like, well, I guess this is the place. Let's go. She just like pushes the door open, begrudgingly.
Yeah, and as you push the door open, there's like a chorus that greets you, like a recorded chorus. And it's like, welcome to the Bloody Valentine. Have a good time. And like you walk in and like this wafts over you, and you look around and there's probably like 5 people in here total.
Well, the crowd still hasn't changed. Yeah, she goes up to whatever looks like the bar here.
Yep, exactly. And as you approach, there's a woman behind the bar, and she kind of walks up to you and she says, "What do you have, sweetie?"
If you have to ask, then it's a problem.
Well, I only have to ask because we only serve one thing. It's vodka. That's what you get. And she kind of like pours it in a glass straight.
Gogo just nods and takes it, downs it, gestures to make sure everybody else sits.
Yeah, and I think, Dr. Fisher, you feel a tugging on your sleeve. And it's Chan, and he goes, Dr. Fisher, this does not look like a pet hospital. It is perhaps my misunderstanding of culture, though, here. Is that substance that Miss Gogo is drinking, is that medicine?
For some people, it certainly is medicine, Chan.
But not for pets. For people.
Yes, that is correct.
I believe I understand. You don't think he understands.
It is fine, Chan. Just relax in the way you are capable of.
Telling Chan to relax is like telling a brick wall to move.
Yeah.
So I think he just stands there like stone still and just kind of like looks around and is like, oh, okay, Dr. Fisher, I will try. And then he just like stands behind Gogo, like kind of like looking around, holding Stanley close to him with his big floppy hat.
Sorry. Yeah, so I think Gogo, after she downs the drink, would lean into the bartender and just say, so I heard Felix owns this place now, no?
I think she kind of like looks at you and she says, yes, well, own is a tough word to say. But if you wish to use it, I will not stop you.
You would happen to know where he is, would you?
Comes and goes. Sometimes he is here, sometimes he pays us, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I guess I'll hang out for a little bit, see if the man himself shows up.
Yeah, and I think that as if on cue, bursting through the doors is, what does Felix Valentine look like, Gogo?
I think that he is about as sleazy a guy as you could imagine looking. He's very Russian. He's got very, chiseled chin and features, very harsh. He has dark hair, like dark black hair, dark, really big bushy eyebrows, kind of comically so. It just has the shit-eating grin on his face all the time, never faltering.
Oh my god. Hold on. Is this him? Let me make sure I don't post this in general. That would have been embarrassing. People would have been very confused. Is this Felix?
I mean, a little younger, but yeah, that's what I would say.
That's perfect.
Okay, hold on. God, there's so many images of that man. I want to know who he is now. Like, he is popular when you type in sleazy Russian.
Creepy.
The other ones are very political, and I won't share those with the chat. But that guy in particular is all over the place.
I mean, yes, more or less.
Okay. Just younger version. Wait, hold on. Can I type in young sleazy Russian? What does that give me?
You're I'm sure getting dangerously close to a very specific
Well, I'm gonna let you know if I'm not already on about 50% of the lists that exist for looking up everything for D&D, like how to disrupt the political government and stuff like that.
Google, show me young sleazy Russians.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes,
dude, chill.
You would be surprised.
Maybe you should go outside or something.
You would be surprised at how topical these pictures are, though.
Shit.
Anyway, yes. So we have a generalized look for him, and I think that there are 2 other men with him, and as they walk in, they're all speaking very loudly in Russian, and they probably sound drunk, and I think that you turn around and obviously Felix is there, and he walks up and he's like, Anastasia, it is good to see you. Here, serve my friends drinks. All night on me is fine. And she just kind of like, she visibly rolls her eyes and pours a couple of drinks. And he's like, and how is Bard doing today? Everyone doing good? Lots of people in here today, yes.
So this is lots of people to you, huh?
I think he kind of like looks, and you see his eyes are unfocused, and he kind of focuses in, and he goes, oh, goodness. Man, this is girl I was telling you about. Great racer, wonderful. Wonderful back in her day, yes. This is my lovely daughter, which one was it? It is, Margot, that is the name. This is Margot, everyone. Also, drinks for her on me, Anastasia.
Glad to see you actually remembered my name, Dad.
Yeah, and I think he like comes over and like gives you like a big hug, and you can just smell the vodka coming off of him, basically. And he says, "Oh, and who is this? New boyfriend? And this very tall, very alien woman or man? I'm sorry, I do not mean to be, do you say, rude or inconsiderate. It is just, I am a very loud person. Sometimes people accuse me of yelling when I am simply just talking. It is no problem. Also, who is this very finely, sharply dressed man in my bar? This good. You must have drinks, sir. Come." And he kind of like grabs Fisher, who I assume shoots like a save me look.
Oh yeah, it's a mixture between save me and what on earth have you been into? Look.
Gogo just shakes her head and shrugs like, listen, if I knew how, I would. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think like you're drug over to a seat at the bar and plop down, and like there's some vodka poured for you, in like little shot glasses, and like he picks one up and he like expects you to pick one up. Yeah, and it's swill, like it's the. Yeah, it's... Exactly. He's like, "Oh, that is good, man. Put the hair on your chest. Yes. Now, let's talk business. What kind of business are you in, sir?" Well, tell me, would you like to be in the business of owning bar? This good. I am looking for partners. These fine gentlemen over here are considering. It's going to be great grand adventure for all of us. We're looking to franchise, even. Perhaps you want to own one.
Yeah, that's certainly an interest.
This is good, great, yes, we will get the paperwork drawn up. Anastasia, if you could get me some contracts, yes, grab them out of back, yes.
Gogo leans into Anastasia and she's just like, don't do that, please, just ignore him. And then she like gets up and walk over.
I think she goes, I don't even know what he is talking about. We don't have contracts.
Gogo nods and she's like, yeah, I know. She like gets up and walks over and tries to like slide in. I'm sure it's some sleazy booth that they're near.
Totally.
Yeah, she slides in and she just goes, "Dad, that won't be necessary. That's not why we're here. Can you focus for a minute, please?"
At least introduce me to your new boyfriend. This one right here, he is good, very fit, man. Yes. Is this? And then I think he goes, is this? Wait, daughter, is the meeting we are to have to tell me that? Wait, is it finally happening?
No.
Do you have child with this man? Stop. Is this what he is carrying? And he like kind of like looks in the, in like tries to look in the pouch, and I think Chan like backs up, and I think that Gogo and Dr. Fisher roll me perception checks.
Based on
Wisdom. Perfect. So Go-Go, you're overwhelmed with the situation, right?
You have a reroll.
Oh yeah, you can reroll if you want.
sure.
Better.
That's even better.
Yeah. You're overwhelmed with the situation, trying to calm everything down, trying to get control of it. And Dr. Fisher, you notice the air tenses around Chan. And he kind of like, with this man is reaching for him and reaching for Stanley. And you see that like his fist kind of clenches a little bit. And you probably see like his fist is clenched so hard that there are like indentations on his on the inside of his palm. And that's probably a great place to just end for the day.
Well done, Go-Go. You've invited Chan to a place where he's going to singly murder.
Yeah, I feel as though Go is almost indifferent to that occurring, so it's fine.
As if your relationship with Chan couldn't get more complicated.
True.
I don't see any complications there.
Great, awesome. You guys want some experience?
Yeah.
I sure do.
All right. I think traditionally I've been giving out 750 experience. Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah. That much closer.
I think Go-Go is like right there.
I'm super close.
Holy shit, yeah. Next session, did you complete any goals?
I will.
Yeah, you sure will.
I'm only 7,000 experience away.
Yeah, 5,000 for me.
Cool.
But I've got one goal to complete, or that will be completed for
Cool.
next session.
Awesome. Lots of fun. I hope you guys were taking notes. There was a lot of information given, so.
I took so many notes.
Also, I think we finally maybe gotten to all of the stupid planets that I didn't give you guys edit privileges for whatever reason.
I think
It was only
so.
a matter of time.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. This is true. So
Only, what is this, session 40, 41?
this is session 43, I think. Oh no,
Holy
42.
shit.
42, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, we're a couple of weeks behind Siege. That might be wrong.
So
42 might have
we're-
been. I think Siege was 44, and this one is actually, this might be 39. This might be 39.
No, you're up to 40 or 41 on YouTube even.
Yeah.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
I always forget. It's always so hard.
So there's no fewer than 168 hours of us doing this.
Oh my god.
On the internet.
Seems great.
Yeah, I looked at my my hours on Roll20 before I got in today, and I'm at like 400 now.
This is I was actually right the first time. This is
So.
42. Look at that.
Yeah.
So, fantastic. Do you guys have any final thoughts or words or comments?
I'm gonna power so much stuff.
Just for no reason.
Just forever.
Yeah.
Well, no. The cool thing is, right? You can. You just need to figure out a way to get it integrated into your assault suit, and then you will have infinite power.
hmm
Ooh. You just need to build one of those things that you have a schematic for, and then you can put as much power into it as you want.
And also hope you just have enough food and water to survive.
Yeah.
Details.
Minor
Details.
annoyances.
Minor details. Food is very compact in the future.
It's true. It's true.
You can pack a lot of it
You
into.
can put it in a pill.
helmet.
Yep. You can just have a bunch of pills floating around inside your helmet.
Yeah,
You
just
just-
like a feed bag for a horse, just
Yep.
floating around.
Scoop one up every time you need one.
Beautiful.
See, I feel like I need to change one of my goals into Dr. Fisher has a rest day.
You'll
Dr.
be chasing
Fisher-
it for another
You will
port.
never. Yeah, that's a never achieved goal.
Dr. Fisher completes a goal.
That's
You could just
good stuff.
you could just have that be a reoccurring one, Will, where I'll just give you experience every time you complete it and just leave it up there.
Dr. Fisher's day off.
It'll be your daily.
Dr. Fisher's day off sounds like the worst start to a session where you all are going to die.
I know.
Yep.
It's
gonna be Dr. Fisher on a beach and the rest of you like suffocating in the vacuum of space.
Probably.
Yeah, seems legit.
Cool. And then Arc 2.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
Any other final passing thoughts? Any shout outs?
Shout out to the viewers.
Yay!
Yeah. We appreciate you.
We do. On that note, I'm actually slowly catching up on Twitch to how many people I have subscribed on YouTube, which is cool.
Sweet.
Yay!
So that's fun. But that's all I got. I will either talk to you guys in a few minutes or next week.
Chicken horse.
Do it all again. Apparently Matt would like to subliminally
Everyone
message all
here.
of us and play Chicken Horse.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I actually don't have to go back into lab for once
Fantastic.
after playing. So,
Fantastic.
Well, I need to get
Evening.
off this, so I will catch you guys
did
later.
you not hear what I just said, Devin, about chicken horse?
Okay, I've muted them. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Final reminder, if you are looking to support anything, please, in honor of this particular episode, go support Cybersmile via the Roll20 website. It's a great charity. It's really awesome. That's all I got to say. It was wonderful. This concludes episode 42. Stay tuned next week for episode 43. I hope you all had fun. Please feel free to do all the normal things. You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow. Buy bits from Twitch and give them to me if you're really feeling generous. But other than that, hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.